Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Nowhere Prophet, where it turns out there's been an update. They are still updating this game. They added two new prophets, the Breaker and the Stalker here. Breaker is a master at explosives and a wild temper. Is he a wild temper, or is he a master at a wild temper? I don't know how the parallel structure is supposed to work out here. This would be a good thing to master, if you could. We unlock him by making our way into an old bunker and finding the hidden cavern within. And also we have here the Stalker, great at moving with a light step, hunting his prey. His knowledge allows him to control the battlefield and pick his targets at will. Befriend the reclusive children living near the strange domes filled with plants. Well, at least that one's very explicit. These are both very obvious unlocks. I'm sure when we see the thing that we need to use to unlock them, we will know it. That said, obviously we're in the middle of a run, so let's get back to that run. I appreciate that they're still updating this. I don't know how... I'm going to be honest with you. I don't work in the games industry in the modern day. I don't know how it is that the game developers are able to do this, though, able to afford to do this, where they release a game and then they just continue working on free updates for that game for like 18 months after it comes out. I guess it must be doing well enough to warrant that. So, we have the whole of the ziggurat here before us. We usually... Is this the place where we always arm the slaves? Because that's fun every single time we do it. I'm totally down to do that. We have 2 batteries, which is a problem that we're going to have to solve, and we do not have a lot of stuff to sell, sadly. Well, we have some things, but this stuff is not worth very much. And we have a lot of followers that we need to heal. So I guess let's start by going through the city. Oh man, I don't like to do this part with very few batteries, but the fact is, if we had any batteries, we couldn't afford to spend them anyway, right? Let's just explore the city and pick up some scholar points. I don't remember what we get from visiting the gate. We could sell followers. Cost 20 people? That's... Oh wait, hold on. No, this is a place where there's slaves. Of course we're not going to sell our followers into slavery. Well, no, I'm not also don't have the money to buy these slaves to free them, sadly. Let's explore the area and get some scholar points, I guess. Not that that's terribly useful to us. Alright. I do not want to leave Donna to the Raj. Local political climate needs to change. I love doing that. We arm some slaves. We try to sneak in ourselves. We usually have a bandit on hand. I can't believe in 50 followers we have no bandits. It's too many robots. Try to sneak in ourselves. Hey, we did it. Okay, and then we really, really, really have to make some money. So I guess let's figure out who desperately needs to be healed. Harpy, boy. Okay, you're not on the desperately needs to be healed list. We definitely want to heal a lot of these guys, a huge number of them. The Shredder for sure. It'd be great to heal at least one Lancer, but that's maybe not the highest priority. Keeper would be great. The other Sweeper, maybe? Expert Slinger. I would like very much to heal the Expert Slinger. So we're talking there about 6 wounds. That's 8 batteries. We can make 8 batteries happen. And then... heal ourselves for 15 to go to 31. Yeah, maybe. 8 batteries is not too hard. We could sell just this scavenger armor and make it to 8 batteries. What if I wanted to go one more? We could sell the mortar, and that would do it. And that's probably... I mean, that's not a thing we would want to dismantle. Except insofar as it's good to dismantle things for our unlocks. So if we were going to heal 3 more people, it's like Shrieker and the other Sweeper and a Lancer, maybe? We're leaving ourselves a little bit short on really cheap guys, and the really cheap guys are better for our strategy than they were for our previous strategy, obviously. I would love to have a cutter. But I don't know if having a cutter is worth not having these two, right? Because those are very, very good cards. Yeah, I'm gonna... This is what it's gonna be. So let's sell the mortar. Hopefully we can make it through on the food and hope that we already have, because we definitely cannot afford to buy any food or hope. And I think that's it. I think that's really all we can afford to do here. And then obviously we have to mess with our combat deck quite a bit before the next encounter. So we go through a feral settlement on the way to the gate, or the machinists on the way to the gate. I'm looking at our unlocks, and I don't know that it matters terribly. Yeah, I'm not seeing any indication on any of these. It may be the case that the events we need to unlock the Breaker and the Stalker won't even be in this run, since we started this run before they were added to the game. So barrels do a lot more direct damage, I think. Let's go this way. We may not win this run, though. I'm feeling depleted for sure. Oh yes, the bounty of edible plants. Also, there's a Shram monastery. There's the dam over there. Ooh, it's a big map. Well, going up here gives us the benefit of being able to easily heal 5 more damage off of our profit. The bottom path is rife with danger. That said, fighting usually gives you a way of earning some batteries. I don't think we need this bounty of edible plants. I bet we can make do with just the food we find from normal events. So why don't we go on the north path? The north path will take us by the teacher. Hopefully we can get enough batteries to actually make use of that by the time we get there. Alright, as the convoy started to pack up and get ready, 2 followers came bearing important news. Okay. So when we gave them the resources to go and find a safer life, that made everybody very bummed out. I'm gonna say, stay with us, we will protect you. Yeah, we know we'll be safe. Of course you will be. Blissful afternoon was interrupted by the shrill warning whistle of an outrider. So we could send Vincent to try to scavenge some guys. Again, I wish I had a better sense of the percentages involved here. Because obviously we don't want to lose Vincent. I doubt we would lose him. He would probably just get wounded, right? I'm going to send Vincent to scavenge them. This could have resulted in more bloody carnage, but it seemed that we had the gods on our side that day. Oh, and thank God we did. We really couldn't afford too much failure. Yo, this is great, actually. What an extremely good outcome. Vincent, you're a hero. You're a hero in every single way. Alright, here we are absolutely healing our leader. Although we do have the batteries now, I could have healed followers. I'm nervous about the amount of health we have left. You know, this might be a good time to heal some followers. Came upon the wreck of a large modified transporter. Alright, we're going to check it out. Even if it's a trap, it's still worth doing it. The loot is still good enough. It's good enough to offset the damage. The hot springs were simply serene. Their heavy mineral scent made our head heavy, but the water was comfortable, warm, and soothing. This is what we needed, just like a chill time with some real good luck. Multiple sets of animal tracks could be seen along the shore of the springs. We probably need to go pretty hard here, because we're going to need a lot of food. A group of hunters eventually caught up with the animals responsible for the tracks, an angry group of alpha predators. Let's do it. So, we definitely don't want to go into combat with a 19-card deck. Who is taking a little break here? We probably don't need both the sweepers in. We probably don't need all of this stuff all at once. Let's pull the Lancer back for now. We'll pull the Core Champion back for now. Do I want to run 16? 16 is probably still a little bit fat for consistency's sake. Let's pull one of the Worker Swarms, because we don't need both of them and the Cleanser, probably. And then we might want to cut another 6. Yeah, it's probably something from the top end here. I like Shredder a lot. Yeah, I like Vanguard. Maybe we roll 15? 15's not so bad. And we've run into problems running fewer. I'm gonna try this. We'll see. Maybe I'm setting myself up for failure here. So how many charges of this does he have? Only 2? It's not so bad. None of you. Also not you. Okay, Expert Slinger. Pretty good. So this does damage to the column, and that... Okay, we don't have a lot of places where it's safe to stand. If we can actually get the Expert Slinger to do stuff, it's good. Oh, right, you have Sniper. Well, I don't want to put you behind that. I'm going to put... I don't know if I want to even put you in the back, honestly, because of the plants. Yeah, I'm just going to not take advantage of the Sniper. She's a 4/4. She'll be fine. I hope. Okay, Roaring Januar. Interesting that he didn't put that in the place where it pushes my guy. I guess it wouldn't have helped because, you know, Sniper. Okay, how do we want to do this? Deal 1 damage to all the target's neighbors when you attack. So, like, if we hit the batteries, we would do 1 damage to you, and also we would get batteries. Except I can't, I'm a sniper, but that's not how that works. It's a little unfortunate. I guess we can play both Light Blast and Shot. So I could hit this guy with Shot, then drop a Light Blast right here, then attack the batteries to gain the batteries and kill this guy. It doesn't really develop our board very much, but it does get me batteries, which I have feelings about. And it didn't really matter what order we did that in. Okay, do we want to scrap? I probably don't need the 7 and the 8 in my hand at the same time. But which one to drop then? I mean, he's very good. He will probably help us control the situation. Like the turn where he comes down, you get to go to the face with everybody. Yeah, we'll cycle you out. Sorry, buddy. We drew you a little bit too early. Alright, a 3/6. Interesting. Total waste of a card. Okay. 3/6 overwhelming. How do I want to deal with you? I could just play the Harpy. Harpy's totally fine. I mean, the Harpy is, like, very totally fine. We could, like, Harpy scrap into Shrieker, maybe? Or... I could have my guy attack the O2. Then play the Harpy in that spot with the intent of playing the Sweeper behind next turn, maybe? I mean, I don't just want to get it. Like, we do have to play the Harpy this turn, otherwise my 4/4 is going to get attacked for 3 and then probably killed with a scratch or something. So... Am I allowed to attack this thing? Oh, right. Blast works on me too. Yeah, let's do that as a way of just opening up the whole back row, because it's silly for us to not be able to use any part of the back row, right? And then I am gonna scrap the repurpose is very powerful. I'm gonna scrap the Blood Sacrament to be able to play Shrieker this turn as well. Okay. So Coordinated Fire is pretty strong. Ah, man. And that wouldn't even have killed her if I had just thought about how Blast was going to work in that situation a little bit. Stim Shot, super annoying. So Coordinated Fire is no longer sufficient. We could just... how do I want to deal with this? I mean... Coordinated Fire, and then... No, we can't. We can't not Heavy Slug the 4/6, I think. We have to do that. So I think we're just accepting that the Harpy is getting owned here. Yeah, but we make them do it on their turn. So I blow you up, and then I swap you out so that we can play the Sweeper behind the rock. And the 1/4 goes to the opponent's face. Hey, look at that. Damage. Alright, Pack Leader's a pretty good play in the sense that it means he can't play too much other stuff that's going to be a problem for us this turn. He trades the 5/1 into our 3/1, which is a good outcome for us, I think. And then... do we just coordinated fire? I mean, I don't really want to. What I want to do is play Protector, probably. Yeah, just get him. There's a chance this doesn't work out the way I would like. But man, it's like a pretty good card. Alright, we do that, and then... I guess I could have Tempered Strength. I was thinking we would just pass the turn. But Tempered Strength on this guy was probably the right play. I'm not going to do it now, obviously. No sense in lowering our toughness and then passing the turn. Okay, very strange move there. So you just... do we kill you? Do we have kill? I mean, I guess I could just play Coordinated Fire and take control of the situation, but no, we have a kill. It's shot to your face. And then, do we want the point on... do we want the blessing on Shrieker? Probably, right? Ah, but we cannot get the blessing on Shrieker. Because 6 and 4, yeah. Alright, well, I guess we're taking it on the big taunt guy. That's not bad either. If I had done the +2/-1 last turn before attacking, it would have been 2 points of health lower, plus we would have had 2 extra points in the... I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I think it would have worked. Okay, dead bodies of our enemies littered the area. We did not get a huge amount of food. That's really what I was hoping we would get by hunting a beast, you know, because that's how hunting beasts generally works. So that's disappointing. The disappointing thing to take wounds for. Who do we want to put in before we heal wounds on our followers here? Is it one of the weaker guys? You know what? It might be the Kennel Master. Kennel Master's a card we totally might swap in. Vindicator's not bad either. I think it's going to be the Kennel Master. Just to make sure that we're keeping our low end healthy. Yeah, and you're a good card. Okay. So we're going to heal leader once. Heal followers once. And I was going to say, and then we're going to consider, but actually, no, we're fine. We're totally just going to heal followers again. So that being the case, it's totally like Vindicator and the other Lancer and somebody down here on the bottom end. The other Scanner, maybe? Oh, I did see, I did look over the patch notes for the update. One thing they did change is that Stealth no longer breaks when you take damage from leader cards. Now, you can see here, they've changed the description. Lasts until this unit takes damage from a unit or obstacle, which makes Stealth way more durable. So yeah, maybe Stealth is better now and we want to have that guy get healed. Alright, we go to the market and we sell our garbage and we just buy some food. How about that? That's not the button that goes back to the thing. I would love to buy the Sin Meal here. Will leave us with 17 batteries. It's a lot of food. Okay, I'm feeling like relatively confident now. We gotta find some more batteries before my next level up opportunity, but yeah, feel good. I think we're going to, right? We find batteries all the time. Road passed by a large overgrown complex surrounded by ancient greenhouses and fields, but still being tended by someone. Ah yes, before the crash, the elders studied plants and agriculture here. We will approach them, and we will... Ooh, we have just enough scholar points to offer our expertise. I was all ready to trade there. Let's do that. That's just food that you get without paying for it. Ah, blackbirds in a red sky. A dark omen indeed. Well... Let's share these fine fabrics. Everybody just takes turn holding the fabrics, and they're like, you know what? We do feel better. To the monastery. Which is probably going to totally work out for us, right? Let us give the fellow technopath the burial they deserve, because I think this increases our believer points. It also gave us more hope than I remembered. It was definitely useful. Alright, we arrived at the Temple of the Tender, a holy place for many believers, surrounded by many buildings. Monks with reinforced robes and the sign of the earthly labyrinth patrolled the streets, showing the presence and might of the Shiramists. Nevertheless, the place was busy, full of pilgrims, believers, and students of the art of healing. The shrine itself was deep inside the complex, hidden behind the healer's building and the many tents of the pilgrims. This probably does not qualify as a bunker, right? I'm just thinking an old bunker, some hidden caverns. All right, let's explore the healer's building. Well, I cannot take healing from the masters. I could take healing from the students, but really I'm here to learn. The teacher nodded, pointed to a few chairs, and began her lecture. The Shiramists, like many others, worshipped the Trinari, a triumvirate of goddesses. Let us worship the planter, she who gave us life and our role in this world. The tender, she who keeps us alive and who this shrine was built for. And the harvester, she who judges us at our moment of death and returns our souls to the wheel of reincarnation. That takes us up to 30 believer. We'd like to get up to about 34, right? 34 is what we need for the choice at the ending, because we've not seen the believer one yet. Our teacher continued to speak about the Shiramist Crusaders' divine mission to bring others into the fold. Those who do not follow the strict tenets are Jandai, unclean or impure, and only through joining the divine triangle can the unbelievers truly know their purpose and find peace. And she ended with a warning about the dreaded Asuras. But some, tainted too much by technology, are beyond even the grace of the tender. Those demonic operators need to be purged from this world. Their sin has thrown us into chaos, and only through their end will this world be reborn. Well, I hope nobody looks at me too closely, because it's pretty obvious that I'm all up on some techno stuff right there. Let's check out the tent city before we go to the temple. What do we call people and things that are unclean? Why, Jandai, of course. And who has given us the role that we are meant to live by? The planter? I've forgotten already. Which of the Trinari holds the moon-shaped sickle to rid the earthly garden of its weeds? Well, that'd be the harvester. Nope, it was the other one. Darn it. The nun was clearly confident in her knowledge of the scripture, motioning for us to leave, but the students were like, whatever. Okay, a supplicant is an interesting card, and warrior monk is totally fine. There's nothing wrong with a warrior monk. And we ended up netting 1 point of believer there. That's something. Alright, to the temple. The temple was dominated by a towering statue of the Tender, with her moon-shaped sickle in hand. Damn it. Many followers came to lay offerings of food at her feet, and to donate batteries to the watching Shiramist priesthood. Banners showing the earthly labyrinth hung from the columns, and the gentle susurrus of prayers filled the hall. We can absolutely afford to leave offerings. That's what I figured, is that we would get some believers from that. Also, the hope is very welcome. We had come so far. Thus, it was only just and proper to dedicate some food and words of prayer to her. That worked out pretty well for us. That could have turned into probably a much larger thing if we had approached the priests, but I'm happy to have just gotten benefit and gotten out of there. Alright, we will journey to the crossroads now. The path ahead was blocked by barricades. A band of feral warriors sporting primitive weapons and bright decorative scars were crouching behind it. You know how this is. I'm going to choose not to pay the tribute. We really can't afford to lose batteries right now, and we might be able to take some of their stuff and gain batteries after we totally kill them all the way to dead. We probably don't need to be running this Lancer, just like last time. We can cut the Vindicator back out, the Kennel Master back out, and just run the deck the way it was in the last combat. Except this time with no wounds. That's probably a little bit much to ask. Probably don't need to start with Brain Drain. Okay, the ammo cache is fun. So we're likely to spend some effort destroying the acid plant sometime soon, which means we could play the Blue Devil Recruit like here or here, and it would probably be fine, but obviously I'm going to put the Slinger down first. Man, I really wish that the battlefield was not arranged exactly the way it is, though. Maybe we don't put her in the back row. Maybe what we do is we put her... I mean, we can't put her in the back row. It'd be crazy to do that. I'm going to put her here. We can still play something in front of her. I would love to have played the ammo cache first, but I think it's more important to get her on the table right now and then figure that stuff out later. Okay, first turn Spark Shaman is annoying. Well, Harpy in front of her is cool. I sure do wish I ever got to play the Harpy in such a way that it gave her the bonus. Let's see. We could Heavy Slug I'm not happy with the amount of damage we're going to take from that guy. It's probably play Harpy in front of the Blastmaster here. We could attack. Attacking this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Obviously, it'll do 1 damage there, but that doesn't solve any problems. We could play the Harpy, then scrap something to play the Blue Devil. Just get ourselves some bodies. We could just not attack over here at all and use this time to clear this thing, because it has to happen. And then we play Harpy, and then scrap the probably the ammo cache. Honestly, like it's not super likely we're gonna have time to play it. And then we can play our Blue Devil here. We have a nice full row for him. This buys us time on this guy, which is like the best we could do there. That's not very good for us. So now a shot ends you. Static charge is pretty annoying. Yeah, man, what a sequence of plays you had available to you there. Well, obviously we can use Blast to kill the Spark Shaman. That feels like the thing we ought to do. And in fact, if I attack right, I can't attack right there. I was just thinking if we could cause a blast to hit the fragile crystals, then they knock that guy down to 2, and then we shoot him. Well, we do have to kill the Spark Shaman. It looks like the way this works out, it doesn't actually matter where we attack to do that. It's probably better not to kill this thing. So we just go there. And then we play our Keeper. And then, do I scrap for improvised drone? Probably, right? Scrap. The thing is, I don't really want to drop any of these cards. These are all good cards. Yeah, I'm just gonna let it go. Alright, so that's the last charge of that. That's an incredibly frustrating card for you to play at this moment. Okay, fortunately, no interest in actually killing my units. Never mind. You had Slice. Well, how are we going to solve this problem? Obviously, we shoot the 2-2. Well, we don't have to shoot the 2-2, though. That guy's behind a thing. He can't actually fight. So we can worry about him next turn. We can instead, like... We could Heavy Slug the 3-3. I don't really want to use Heavy Slug for this, but, like, we do have to... Maybe we don't have to get that guy off the table. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. Although, if he has any kind of healing, then all of a sudden he does become a problem. Yeah, I'm just going to Heavy Slug him. We'll scrap the drone, get our sniper out, and hopefully not get perfectly trivially killed by the 4 damage leader card that he's holding. Okay, interesting. Oh boy, my country for some machine gun fire, huh? Reinforcing patterns, a fun draw. So I can make my guy an 8-2 and just go to the opponent's face and make him have to solve the problem right now. But if I do that, I don't get to play Protector, because I can't. That will exhaust my leader, so I can't scrap to get energy back. Am I fine with that? Maybe. I sure wish I had more blast stuff. Let's see, I could Tempered Strength, and then play Crippling Mudra. Go to your face, shoot the highest value follower you have. Or I could just play my Cleansing Robot, who at least will now kill anybody who attacks him. Yeah, let's do it that way. Alright, really, like, incredibly annoying. I am, in fact, damaged or wounded. But I did not... Wait. I was really expecting to be killed by that card. Hold on, we're gonna wait till they finish playing things out here. Okay. What does that card do? If the target is damaged or wounded, it suffers -4/-2 instead. But I was wounded, right? My health was red. I took 1 damage from a static charge. I guess I took 1 damage from a static charge, and then I lost a toughness from my leader effect here. My flamethrower thing. So maybe when that reduced my... I don't know, this should have killed me. And I think the way he played it, the way the AI played it suggested that the AI thought it was going to kill me too. So I'm not 100% sure what happened there, but we win. I definitely feel like we should have lost that unit. Okay, I'll take it. I'm not complaining. Do we want to go to camp, or do we want to fall back to the trading post so that we can go through the trade goods thing? It puts us on the route for another battle. It doesn't mean that it's easier for us to access the Union Dam, but that we might not want to do that because we absolutely have to go to this teacher shrine, right? The thing is, I really need the trade goods. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Man, 5 wounded followers in a battle is, like, really not okay. The official said with a smirk, his fat hand pointed beyond the opening gate, gestured to a central plaza. I'm going to let the convoy relax. I know batteries and everything, but we're here to sell, and also we're going to pick up trade goods that are about to be worth batteries in a second here. So we're going to gain on the whole. We definitely can't afford to buy anything. This is the reason we really turned around right here. We will dig up the wreck. We unearthed the metal sphere. To our surprise, it was connected to an ever larger metallic sphere. Eventually, we came upon a hatch that allowed us to access the interior. Donna, fingers crossed. Okay. After a while, we heard cheers and howls. Our junior vanguard had found good loot. Oh, thank God. Valuable metals. Also, a piece of equipment. So, Arc Overload is fine. Wild Fury... Ooh. Sometimes, this is really useful. It lets us depower a damaged enemy. It lets us occasionally turn one of our taunt guys into a much scarier guy. We don't want the Arc Overload itself. I kind of think this card's worth having. Yeah, let's just dismantle this straight away. And who knows, maybe we end up removing it from our deck, but you know, at least it's giving us a little bit of a buffer to remove stuff from our deck. Alright, we found ourselves approaching a fortress blocking the path ahead. The sharp points of its scrap metal construction glinted threateningly in the light. Let us approach the fortress openly. I would prefer not to fight here if we don't absolutely have to. I think we do need to level up to forget stuff. Let's assault the barricade. Probably it was going to be a fight either way, right? Okay, so let's remove you two from the deck. And you and you and you. Yeah, we just, like, we can't take that many wounds in a battle. It's tough, though. The enemies always have 100 removal spells, so you're necessarily going to take a huge amount of wounds in a battle. There's not really anything you can do about it. Just gotta weather it, I suppose, and try to have enough resources to heal your guys occasionally. Do we want to run the Supplicant? I'd be comfortable running the Supplicant as a guy that we intend to take a wound on, and then just bounce back out of the deck afterward, and, like, put in the other Worker Swarm. So you have, if you have at least one follower, deal 1 damage to the enemy leader 4 times. Okay. Man, it sure does feel like there's a bunch of dangerous garbage on my side of the battlefield all the time, and a bunch of helpful garbage on their side of the battlefield all the time. Alright, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play the scanner here. And then we're going to scrap eye for an eye to also get a drone out. And the drone is going to be played here. Alright, 4 points of power. Wow. Hardliner is a hell of a draw. What a good card to have. Let's... How do we deal with that? How do we deal with that? Because we do have to. I guess we can't? We could blood sacrament the token to try to create some like we probably need the acceleration effect, right? Like we just have the token smash the cover and then blood sacrament. That it says non-token follower right there on the word or on the card in the words. Can't use supplicant to deal with this problem because he didn't play it in the way that is helpful to me. The enemy can't scrap cards, so it's just a 5/5. But just a 5/5 is still a real problem. I can make my guy 4/2. That doesn't help anything in any way. I guess the play is make our guy a 4/2. No, the play is just sweeper here, right? And then go to your face. So I'm going to take damage. He's going to go to 5. He's going to go to 6/5. He's going to hit me for 6. And I'm also going to take 1 damage. So we're going to go to 32 here. Well, we're going to do this. So that's going to help. Or maybe we'll get lucky and he'll hurl his 5/5 at my token, which would be a terrible play, but he totally might, just because he gets to kill a creature. Ooh, or he's going to play something in front of it. That's interesting. Okay, that's pretty good. That guy's getting blood sacramented for sure. Wild Fury is an interesting draw. Wait a minute. Why was he able to attack there? The fact that this guy has stealth doesn't mean he's not in front. That guy doesn't have stealth, right? Hold on, the guy who... Maybe stealth does make... Yeah, I guess we have the spikes on this thing indicating that it's in front. Okay. So that means I could play Supplicant here. I mean, we just heavy slug that guy, right? There's no reason to screw around with this. And then we Wild Fury our 0/3. That's probably pretty good instead of sacramenting. It's not bad, certainly. Another thing we could do is just destroy this barrel because it's making our situation kind of awkward right now. Let's do this. Definitely want to do that. I think I am going to destroy the barrel. Also going to go to your face for 3. And then I'm going to scrap... No, I'm not. Well, if I'm not going to scrap, then if I'm not going to scrap to play the Supplicant, then I absolutely should have Tempered Strength. In this case, I'm still going to do it, because that guy is a little bit less likely to get killed. We're just going to hold the Blood Sacrament. Coming up on 6 energy cells, which is a big, it's a big number for us. Boy, you sure do have a lot of... Also, why am I only dealing 1 damage with... Am I imagining the Coordinated Swarm was 2 damage before? Maybe I'm misremembering. But also, maybe that got nerfed in the patch and I didn't notice. It would be a real bummer for them to have nerfed the strategy the second I got to actually play with it. So, Lancer, right? Hard to imagine it being wrong to do Lancer. I guess there's a pretty good chance, because it fights random enemy unit, there's a pretty good chance it ends up fighting some piece of garbage instead of a follower. So we would probably want to destroy some of that stuff first. I guess here we can do this. We can move you up to here, or just to here. Okay, that was pretty good. It's a pretty good outcome. And then we just play the supplicant. And then we have a pretty good situation, I think. I might get hit in the face for 4. That's possible. Do I want to scrap anything? I don't think so. There's no sense in spending the shot. Oh, sorry. Might get hit in the face for 5. At some point, they're going to have somebody kill my 2/2. I would imagine. Okay, you'd rather take the trade. That's actually super fine for me. Played a card that costs 3 or more. Turn this unit to your hand to reduce its cost by 1. That's an interesting guy. So there's a lot of stuff on the table that I'd like to kill. Shredder, unfortunately, doesn't quite do the amount of damage that we need. We're nowhere near the kill on the actual enemy leader. Lancer is a little bit too likely to hit the wrong targets here. Like, I'm definitely going to do this. Let's get rid of that guy. And then we could Brain Drain the 5/4. Or we could play the Lancer or the Shredder, but in both cases we'd have to get lucky to kill the 5/4. And that is really what we need to do. We could also trade our shot. We could trade shot plus our 2/2 for the 5/4, then scrap something to get an energy back to play one of our 6-cost guys. I could also do shot plus. I think what I'm going to do is shot plus this, right? That's obviously the right version of this thing. Scrap this guy, and now there's exactly 6 points of enemies over there. That's the right version of that thing. Okay, now our opponent is in an unenviable board position, but with a ton of resources remaining. Boy, what a card to have at that moment. Fortunately, he hasn't done a lot of damage to us here, so what is it? It's like Lancer. Well, so if the Lancer doesn't kill the Shock Trooper, because it could kill this, right? A construct is a unit. If it doesn't kill the 3/4, I guess I don't really care that much. Yeah. If it kills the autocannon, that's fine. That's better, obviously. So now we don't even bother attacking this thing because I can't kill it, or we do attack it now so that I can kill it more easily next turn. Oh, we have 1 point of coordinated thing left, yeah. So now it'll fire once and then it'll die. And we could also play this Shrieker, because why not? Let's have a thing in this row for when our guy probably gets killed. I was not expecting his autogun to do 4 damage. Doesn't autogun do 2 damage? Maybe there are 2 different cards that do that thing but have different names, and I thought we were looking at the autocannon deals 3 damage to the target in the first target of the opposing row. So wait. It did 4 though, right? Okay, so he is going to continue to have however many guys he needs to have every turn, it looks like. Regardless of how much very good work we do. We can Brain Drain. My big concern is if I Brain Drain this guy, it's going to spawn the drone here and make it so the spike trap is still not accessible, because that would be the most annoying thing that could happen, and that seems to be the game's guiding light for what should happen, is whatever will bother me the most. We could, let's see, what is left in my leader deck? There's one card left that would do direct damage to the enemy. So if I played Vanguard, we could get through for 15, 17 by attacking with the Ruster before. It's not going to get us there, obviously. We can play the Protector. It might be time to Blood Sacrament just to start digging through our deck a little bit. Oh, you know what? Stealth allows me to do that. It would just burn my guy, but also that's an annoying card that could go away. The thing is, it probably doesn't need to, right? Like, it's probably not that useful. If we play the Protector without getting rid of the Spike Trap, we are going to feel a little silly. Because it's gonna put us low enough that these two guys can just smash into my Protector and kill him. Yeah, that's really frustrating. This really did not work out all that well for us. Okay, hold on. If we repurpose... Let's say we repurpose this guy. We get in for 4, 10, 14, plus 7. There it is. That's the kill. We just ignore all of his nonsense. Who is taking the blessing? It's Stealth Guy, right? There we go. Repurpose. It turns out repurpose is pretty alright. We gained some raiders that we will probably never play. I mean, Cutthroat's fine. Outlaw's not that bad either. Food and batteries, definitely things we needed. So, if we go to the Union Dam, and there doesn't turn out to be a hidden path, we just don't get the teacher, and I don't think we can afford to have just not get the teacher as an option. I think we have to go this way, as much as I want to visit the dam. We shared our meal, and as night approached, we heard shouts and screams from one of the fires. Two boys were at each other's throats, after one had apparently insulted the other, and of course it's high rarity, extremely powerful cards. But we can appeal to their faith. I took the two aside and talked to them, appealing to their shared faith and calming them down in the process. Hey, it turns out all these believer points are definitely worth something. Get food. Food is good. We don't actually have to use a hope thing, right? Because I guess there are some minus hope events that lose you more than 5 hope. So we may as well do this. Okay, we need to sell an awful lot of stuff at this market. So I need to level up. Destroy target unit, but its leader gains 2 energy cells. That's a thing we could play on our crummy tokens. But I think Grave Accumulation as a card that kills a guy and also sometimes gives you a unit is pretty hard to ignore. Okay, we got our last equipment slot, so we'll throw the Null Drone in there. And then, what would I need to do? Okay. That's what we do. So we're going to drop... What are we going to drop? I like Brain Drain. It's hard to play, but I like it. Is it... Crippling Mudra. It's a cool card, but it might... I don't know. Precognition is just good. Blood Sacrament, although we're not playing it very much, is also very good and powerful. Improvised Drone it's fine. It would be better if Blood Sacrament didn't say non-token on it. We are not using Eye for an Eye very much. It is so often the case that we need to target specific enemy followers. I think I'm okay with removing that, even though it's very good. All of the cards we have remaining are very good. And then it might actually be the Wild Fury. No, I like the Wild Fury. It's probably not any of the direct damage. The Crippling Mudra is made way better by all the direct damage. Reinforcing Pattern is very good. The worst card in our deck is probably Improvised Drone. I feel fairly confident about that. Okay, there it is. We got our unlock, and just barely before the end of the game. Although there's a pretty good chance that we were gonna fight enough during the final node to level up to 9. So we probably would have gotten it without this teacher. What does the defense drone do? 6 charges of... Wow, that's pretty good. And then, of course, Repair Swarm. Yeah, that makes sense. Given that the art for Repair Swarm is a picture of the drone. Alright, I guess we continue forward. Blissful afternoon was interrupted by the shrill warning whistle of an outrider, and then we sent Vincent to scavenge them. And he did it again, because he's unstoppable. Those are good cards. Vincent, you're a hero. Yeah, man, that's like all those batteries and... Alright. We're going to move on without spending a hope card, because we still have the effect from the last luxury. Alright, that's it. We're almost at the end of the road. And now we do the thing where we have many, many battles before we get to finally make camp. Okay, we storm their camp. Where we do not have 30 altruist points. We're close, but not quite there. Supplicant, you might actually stay in the deck. Sweeper's coming out. We have another sweeper to replace it. And then... No, I'm going to cut you. We'll put you in. And I should bring in one higher cost thing. Should it be the Vindicator instead? Should I, like, soften the curve a little bit? We need 2 Lancers. Let's do this. Alright, so you draw cards, you get +1/+... I mean, every enemy after a certain point in the campaign has a bunch of charges, that +1/+0 thing. I'm gonna throw back all of this. Not super wild about the robust in the 2-column battle. Okay, Acid Plant is fun. So it's like Acid Plant, Scrap Drone, play Worker Swarm. I think that's pretty good. Alright, I like it when my opponent doesn't do anything on the first turn. That's nice. Oh, Eye for an Eye is pretty alright. You found a way to deal with the Worker Swarm. Well, bad news for you, I have a Worker Swarm. And this one has 4 power. Is that smart? I don't know. It's definitely threatening. Why be smart when you can be threatening? Okay, weird position to play that cultist in. I assume he has shenanigans. Sure, that'll do it. Please don't have the kill card. Alright. I think we just move forward so we try to keep baiting cards out of him for this, and then just make a Vindicator happen. I have to say, I'm feeling alright about our position so far. Deal 1 damage to all enemy units when you die. Okay. Well, this is not a terrible situation. I almost don't even want to play the Lancer. Am I being too precious about getting the most out of that ability? Because it does still make a guy. What's in my... I have 2 discarded cards, so Grave Accumulation's not great. So if we play the Lancer now and then he plays something really scary next turn, we could be in a little bit of a position. But I think it would be too greedy. I'm trying to be too greedy by not playing the 6 power card. And I think I'm not going to scrap anything. I actually really like all of our cards here. Got another Revolutionary. It's not like a great guy, honestly. Is it another Eye for an Eye? No, he has a lot of sacrifice stuff, though. Okay. Okay. You got Revolutionary. There is no version of this where we do not play Protector. Just go to his face for 11, right? This is pretty bad for you. Alright, Signal Bearer doesn't do anything by itself. He is going to be able to kill my taunt guy, but that's fine. Ooh, all enemy followers. Take 5. That's pretty good. Gonna make it very unlikely for him to deal damage to me at any point during this game, though. We just play the apostate, right? And now he has to kill that this turn or he's in a huge amount of trouble. We could probably scrap... We only have 2 uses of this left. I'm thinking we're going to scrap a scanner, though. So, like, I'm not going to play this. Okay, Vanguard's a good draw. Vanguard plus shot is lethal, so he has to really, really have a lot going here. We have so much armor thanks to our taunt man. Okay, so we get ya. I think I just put a blessing on Vincent, right? Don't see any reason to do this any other way. Congratulations, Vincent. You are finally useful in battle as well as in every other way. Only 5 wounds. He only wounded 3 of my best cards all at once with his stupid final blast. Alright, we had caused immense damage to the now defeated cultists. Their camp was ruined. I don't think we should plunder the camp. I think we should keep moving. We don't need the stuff from the camp all that badly. Alright. So now we have to cut a huge amount of the top end of the deck. We can definitely put in the other Lancer. Drop the Worker Swarm, that's not a big deal. What do we want to put in at the top end? Replace the Worker Swarm. We don't have to directly replace the Worker Swarm. Our deck is cheap enough as it is. I think we will cut it. Put in the Kettle Master. And then... Is there one more kind of biggish... Yeah, you know what? The Core Champion. Core Champion's good. That leaves us with only 12 cards. It makes me a little nervous, being only at 12. Okay, we'll fill out the middle of the curve a little bit. Probably don't need to start with you two, as good as you are. Alright, well. Some scholar points on offer here. I'm not going to kill myself getting them. Let's just play the scanner and see what happens. Ooh, Stone Chakra's very good. Okay, 1 energy or this follower loses 2 life points. He did not leave himself energy. So we don't have to get too lucky to get that kill. Also, I could just play Unconquered Ascetic. Feels like that's what I'm gonna do. Alright, so we... can't attack... Hold on, how does stealth work? Can attack all enemy units regardless of position. But, oh, because that, right, this guy has taunt is the core of the issue there. I think I'm going to scrap the other scanner. Or we're just going to play Precognition now. May as well line this up. Light Blast isn't bad. I'm gonna grab Reinforcing Pattern. Reinforcing Pattern early is pretty good. We'll just throw it behind that rock and let it generate stuff for us. Okay, congratulations. You've gained 3 scholar points. Man, we need to not be up constantly against people who have, like... It's such a huge problem for our enemies to have a dozen direct removal spells, you know? Because of the depletion effect that has outside of the game. Alright, how are we going to deal with this now? I guess I'm just going to trade. Like, you know, we can't let that guy just have 7 power on the table forever. I could Crippling Mudra and then scrap a leader card to try to draw shot or something? Or rather, scrap a leader card now, because we could just draw Heavy Slug. But we could trade off our guy and then play, like, Reinforcing Pattern and also Sweeper. Yeah, I think we just do this. Now, obviously, the big danger here is that he's gonna have a removal spell immediately. It's also kind of wild how many cards he always has in his hand, considering the fact that he is 2-for-1ing himself constantly. Yep. Well, you just have to keep playing the followers until he runs out of those cards, right? There's no strategy where we play around a guy having 10 Wrath of Gods. You just gotta keep playing. Alright, you protect that thing. You get on the table. We're never going to be able to play enough leader cards to actually get any of the bolsters. Okay, 6-8 taunt, sure, totally reasonable. The brain drain still kills him. Which means we have to play it, right? I don't think we actually have an option there. Did this guy's card change when receiving damage? I thought this was the guy. I thought that was a different guy than he is. Well, that's fine. We'll just scrap Shrieker, who's not that good anymore, and get ourselves a Light Blast. I think this is a little bit better than shooting him, because we get to take 1 point off of that thing. And then I'm almost tempted to attack the cover and then hit this. In fact, I'm absolutely going to do... Yeah, I guess if I do that... I should have just shot him then. But you know what? It's totally worth it to get this off the table. He's going to eternally be at full followers, despite the fact that I'm constantly murdering his followers. It's very annoying. It's a tough pair of guys for him to be playing here. We could play... Apostate of the Echo is a little bit better next turn. So maybe I just play Lancer right now. And then... Ooh, boy. We don't really have a great way of dealing with the second one. When do you heal? At the beginning of my turn? No, at the end of my turn. Okay, so you'll heal back the damage you take from the one of these guys that dies. As long as you don't get in combat with him yourself. I think I play the Lancer. And then... you just go to the enemy's face? I don't think it makes sense to try to damage that guy. We just do 6 to the enemy and let him have a 4/5. And then next turn we deal with him. I mean, he's in a position here where when he dies, it's going to kill... He's going to attack my 4/4 and kill everything on the table, and there's nothing I can do about it. I can play Crippling Mudra. Give all my guys 1 extra health. You know what? And now I'm just going to trade with you. Yeah. I think that was okay. Obviously, we have a bunch of guys who are going to be very vulnerable here, but there was no version of this where that wasn't true. Okay. Grave Accumulation is an interesting draw at this moment. So he'd be a 5/5? That's interesting. We also have the option of just playing the Vanguard and attacking. We could trade our 4/2 for their 2/4. Then play Apostate of the Echo, cycle something into whatever, just to trigger the Incite. It doesn't matter which of our leader cards we play. We just, like, shoot the guy in the face. I actually really like that. A random enemy unit without stealth, yeah. So, you go behind the rock. We cycle out the Kennel Master. Shoot you in the face to trigger that extremely powerful Incite. And then... smash. Okay, now we have a terrifying amount of power on the table. Static charge here, actually quite good. We also have a much better grave accumulation. Is my discard pile 6 now? No, it is 8. Okay, so Flips did not do anything when he came in. We just play grave accumulation across from the 6/6. Dome my opponent for... Wait, can I kill him? Right now, if we played the grave accumulation, then repurposed it, I could do 8 damage with this, plus shot, plus... Oh no, we have Vanguard. What am I doing? Yes, we can kill him. We have Vanguard. We have the technology, and the technology is always the 7 power guy with charge. Alright. Vincent is extremely pulling his weight this episode. He's maybe doing the best that any creature has ever done in our deck. Alright, we approach the canyon, and hey, look, we gotta fight again. Don't we... I feel like we usually get an option during this whole thing that requires 30 Believer to use. And we just didn't get that option the one time we have 30 points of Believer. Are all of my sweepers... Oh no, the one sweeper that's not injured is in the deck already. I'm gonna say, did I really manage to get all of my sweepers wounded? So... We're a little bit short on top end now. We just don't have enough durable 5 and 6 drops. That said, the quality of our creatures doesn't seem to matter all that much because they're all going to get killed by destroy a target creature anyway. So just them being guys is good enough, I guess. We play you. We'll run the unwounded cutters and a buzzer. It feels not great, but my entire convoy is wounded. So what am I gonna do? Yeah, that's it. That's what we're doing. This is a different guy, at least. Okay, that's not a bad open. We can save the grave accumulation for later. We'll keep the warrior monk. We'll play Shrieker. Yeah, play Shrieker. Scrap Mudra to also play Cutter. Yeah. Get some damage on the table. We almost never see that guy actually trigger, right? That's unfortunate. He doesn't seem like a bad dude. It's just not really working out. Alright, is there any reason that we would not just go to the opponent's face a whole bunch? No, right? Go to the opponent's face for 3, play my 3/5? Seems like the right move. I'm a little worried about leaving an opponent's guy on the table, but we would have had to like get a lucky scrap or something in order to make him removable. And yep, of course. All right. Well, Worker Swarm's a pretty good draw. We could play Precognition. Hope to draw like a shot or something. No, that doesn't... I don't know how we're going to deal with these guys. I think we're going to do this. We're going to play Worker Swarm. We are going to play the Precog. And take the Grave Accumulation. Drop the Reinforcing Pattern. I don't want to drop it behind that guy. If we drop it here, it's just going to get killed immediately, so there's no sense in doing that. Why don't we just do this instead? So Grave Accumulation's only a 2/2 right now. Obviously, I'm fine trading my trading 1 space on my robust guy for that. Dude over there. Start of your turn, all friendly followers get +1/-1. Interesting. That definitely gives us some different options. Also, we have Brain Drain. If we played... Let's see. If we use the 2/1 to trade for his 3/2, then that makes our grave accumulation a 3/3. We could also scrap buzzer to make it even a little bit better. We could also I mean, I really want to get rid of that 5/3. We're gonna attack him with this guy, right? Yeah, we do this. We do this. Feels pretty bad, but I think it's the right move. And then we could grave accumulation, like scrap buzzer, then play grave accumulation here, and then when we move the worker swarm on our next turn, we just move it to this space. It's a little slower, but honestly, I kind of like it. And instead of burning this guy, we just play him back here. This gives us like a little bit of danger for one turn, but then if this guy survives, it gives us a really valuable position. And the odds are this guy's going to get killed by a destroy effect, not by damage anyway, right? Alright, Forerunner's not bad. Ooh, he failed to do anything. That's very interesting. When a friendly drone moves, deal 1 damage to a random enemy target for each drone in the moving unit's new column. Oh, they just totally changed Coordinated Swarm and I didn't see it in the patch notes. I mean, I'm sure it's there. I did not see it. Well, we'll probably just brain drain him, right? Do a little card exchange, and then I get to hit you for... Well, I'm going to kill this. Then I get to hit you. Yeah, they totally changed Coordinated Swarm, and I just didn't notice, and also didn't... I looked at it earlier, and I was just like, what's the number? What's the number? Oh, it's a 1 now. That's not good. But yeah, it's a totally different effect. I don't really want to play the reinforcing pattern behind the swarm, but we can play it here. That's pretty good. Wild Hand is not so super hot in this position. Ooh, a Harpy's awfully good, though. Except that we have Cancel Challenge. That's right. Apparently Cancel Challenge doesn't work exactly the way I would have expected there. Hold on, did they change that too? No, that unit suffers blackout. So he got blacked out, but after... It's like weird the way they drew it. Because he came into play enough to get blacked out, but then after he was blacked out, his effect triggered. And it's just that they're doing the art for the effects in the wrong order, but they could have cleaned that up and done them in the right order. So we're nowhere near lethal, are we? We can play Scanner and repurpose it to give 6 extra damage, which would be what we're at 11. That actually does kill. Also, just playing Vanguard kills, which is what we'll do then. Because why would we ever do anything that isn't play Vanguard? Smash, smash. Yeah, and then we get a blessing on our buzzer, who probably, honestly, is not going to stay in the deck in the long term. But, you know, it's still better to have the blessing on somebody than to not get a blessing on anybody. We're going to inspire our followers with the power of our belief. I feel like we usually have an option climbing up that costs, or that you can pay for with believer points. Okay. Well, we did it. We made it to the gate, which I did not think we were going to do. And to be perfectly honest, we're in a much better position now than we were at the beginning of the episode. We're in roughly the same position on the convoy, which is to say that everyone is injured. But resource-wise, we can actually make it to the end, I'm pretty sure. So that's exciting. That obviously needs to be it for us for today. We are very out of time. We are past out of time. But come back next time, tomorrow. We're gonna conclude this thing. I hope successfully, but definitely one way or the other, it's coming to an end. And we'll see you then.